Hey, what's up guys? This video is going to be all about the different attachment options we now have for our tripods. From the original and still one of the most versatile, the hog saddle, or in this case, pig saddle, to the one of the newer options, or at least one of the options we're seeing most recently, is the tack plate with a bag on top. And of course, the directly mounting with the Arca rail to an Arca clamp style or photography style mounting option. We're going to talk about the pros and cons that each can provide us, and ultimately which is my choice and why it's my choice. So let's get started with the hog saddle or pig saddle, the vice clamp style, right? You know, when this system came out, man, it was we were all definitely excited, just because somebody smarter than most of us said, hey man, we can use a tripod instead of our rucksack or backpack or all the other things we were trying to use to get up and off our bellies, out of that prone position where we could shoot over barricades and obstacles and that sort of thing. You know, a big pro to the pig saddle, hog saddle is it's versatile. It'll accept pretty much any weapon system. While this is the pig saddle, the lighter weight version, it'll still handle, you know, 30-pound guns, and that's just my experience with it. I'm sure it'll clamp and hold to even heavier weight weapon systems or whatever. But yeah, you know, just because it is, you know, a tightening type system, a vice clamp, you know, most any rifle will sit right into it. So that's its, you know, huge. It's probably its number one pro. It's not very costly. They're relatively affordable. The con is it can be a little slower for getting set up, because you do have to, you know, screw it tight. Of course, that can be mitigated by just opening up just enough to where your rifle will squeeze right in there, and then with 2 or 3 little turns, I'm all set. Right now I'm all set if I tighten up my ball head a little bit. The more attachments there are between it and the bipod, the more play you're going to get. You know, some guys I even know, you know, for being able to quickly elevate things, right, you can just let it rest in there and just run that, you know, that angle like so. It's not my favorite, but it is doable. I personally like mine attached to a ball head if I was going to run it this way. But yeah, for me, the two major cons to this, or negatives to the hog or pig saddle, is the little bit of play that we do get in there, and of course it's just not quite as fast getting set up or set into it. One of the pros, another pro, is that, you know, I can just leave my rifle sitting here while I, you know, glass with binos, or, you know, I'm working on my calculator, or whatever else. If I'm rotated off and my sniper buddy is on glass, you know, I can just sit, keep the gun ready. So those are kind of the basic pros and cons for the pig or hog saddle vice clamp style mounting option. All right, next up is the tack plate with a support bag. In this case, this is the Mod Dose MUB tack plate. It's one of my favorite. Comes pre-drilled with different slots that you can attach a bag to, and mounting options as far as putting, you know, Arca plates or different accessories on here in case you do want to use it as, like what I prefer to use it for, is an observation platform with my lasers, my rangefinder, and spot and scope. But like I said, man, this is a newer option. We're seeing it. Guys are liking it just for its versatility and speed. So basically all we're doing is throwing that support bag up here, and then of course it's just like shooting off a position otherwise, you know. And you know, it is you know, it's as stable as shooting off a platform. All right, pretty solid or whatever. And like I said, man, biggest pro is the speed. You can get nice and quick transitions with it. Just you're shooting off a bag. Like I said, man, it's It's pretty much just like shooting off a bag off a barricade. Now, con is, right, I can't leave the gun without positive control. If I let go of the gun, it's going to fall off. You know, I've seen guys, of course, you know, kind of take this whole risk thing here and let their gun sit. Yeah, it's not a good idea. Not in my book. It is slightly less stable, in my opinion, than, you know, going direct to the Arca plate or the Arca quick mount, or even the hog saddle, or I don't know. It's probably it's equivalent to running the hog saddle, pig saddle. Another con is, you know, you got to carry a bag, and let's face it, the bigger and the heavier the bag, the more stability you get out of it. So, you know, you got to ask yourself that question: do you really want to carry a you know, 5 to 8 pound support bag in the field with you for an option that you can't just let the gun rest? And, you know, when I'm in the field, whether it's hunting or a sniper mission type thing, you know, I want to be able to go hands free off the gun, because oftentimes observation and that sort of thing is done considerably more than actually shooting. So, you know, it's a great option. Guys are digging it. It certainly is working really well in like the NRL hunter matches, where you're lasering your target, setting up, shooting, and immediately breaking down. It definitely has its viable applications. And finally, we have direct mount to an Arca quick detach mount system. All right, so these days, you know, there's a reason why Arca is so popular and quote unquote everybody's doing it. It's super versatile, it's fast, it's stable, it's pretty much everything we're looking for as far as being able to directly mount and be able to utilize our weapon on a tripod. You know, as far as mounting goes, just drop it in there. All right, the Arca clamp direct to a ball head. You know, it gives me all the ability to move and shoot in all different angles. And like I said, with a quick tighten on the ball head, I am easily, you know, hands free to be able to do whatever I want. You know, you can also get Arca plates that mount to the bottom of your forends that will, you know, allow you to go straight to this type of system. And, you know, like I said, slap your gun on here and get to work. And if you got an M-LOK style rail, there are plenty of companies that make the Arca adapter plates in different lengths, like this one from BG Defense. Just slap it on your M-LOK and you're good to go for locking in and shooting along, right, with your AR style or whatever type of gun you want to attach that. I've got these Arca style plates on like Magpul chassis, like KRG chassis and stuff like that, that did not come with an integrated Arca rail. You know, to add to that versatility, they actually make these clamps that will accept either Arca plate or Picatinny style rail. And that just continues to add to the versatility of this. So, you know, I can slap my Leupold spotting scope here on here. It's got the Badger Ordnance rail system thing all over it. And, you know, with the Picatinny, drop it right into this quick detachment plate. Of course, if you're like me and you still like the quad rails on your AR type rifles, or in this case, an AR-10 type rifle, then that type of Arca plate really works well there. Another piece of equipment that makes me like the QD attachment even more is the adapters for our binos, laser range finders, etc. Right? So now I can glass with excellent stability, but more so I can get very accurate lasers on my targets to determine their ranges. You know, I always tell folks, you know, if you can't shoot it offhand unsupported, you shouldn't be lasing it offhand unsupported. All right, you're just going to get an error in your ranging, and of course that equals an error in your shooting. you know, to kind of sum it up, man, freaking, we've got the vice clamps type systems, the pig saddle, the hog saddle, super versatile, a little bit slower, a little less stable, cost wise, pretty effective. You know, not too bad for its versatility. And then of course the tack plate with the bag on top. Again, you know, speed and not as stable, not as secure. You can't take your hands off the rifle and do other things. And then, like I said, man, these days the more popular, the direct mount to the QD Arca adapter plate here. It's like I said, man, if you look around, whether it's in the sniper world, the PRS world, or the hunting world, long range hunting world, man, the direct Arca type QD plates on a ball head are the most popular, and for all the reasons that I stated. So many different options and versatility as far as this type of clamp goes. It's just kind of hard to beat. It's not certainly not an expensive option if you go straight to here. You know, all these different pieces of equipment, all these options kind of even out when you look at the costs, etc. But yeah, that's my take. Hope it helps.